Hey guys, so I thought about a topic that might be of interest to some of you, especially since I started this YouTube channel for those of you wanting to get into bikini competitions or bodybuilding competitions. And if I feel like there are things that are hard to find out until you're actually going through it. So I think it's important to know what to expect going into a competition, and really all we can all hope for is just to look like we belong on the stage. That should be your first goal, or is usually our first goal when we do a bikini competition, or at least our first one. Maybe after our first one we want to like place, or maybe you want to place in your first one. I don't know. It depends on how serious you are about it. But I know at minimum, if you're watching this, you want to at least look like you belong on the stage. And so it's a lot of fun. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot, just not only physically, like with your body, but mentally, time management skills, a lot about food, macros, what your body adjusts to positively, what it responds to negatively. It's just a good experience, and you learn more and more about the gym, weight training. Maybe you want to get into like Olympic lifting, CrossFit type stuff, different things that hold your interest, different cardio options that you prefer, that your body responds well to, just different terminology, fitness terminology, and things like that. So overall, it's really a good experience. It can be intense, and it could have, negative impacts on things as well, but that's your choice, however you want to take it. A lot of the times you'll hear like the day of the show or the day after the show, you kind of like go through this mini depression. So expect that. Even if you place really well, there's just a lot of amazing looking women that you'll be competing against, and the judges judge you and put you in order from one to the last one. They have call outs. So I'm not going to go over on every single detail, but I just want you to know, a little bit of what to expect and what your body should, where you should be before you decide to compete. So natural, little mini depression post-show, or, leading up to the show, it starts to become more and more intense as far as prep goes. You'll get hungrier, it gets hard. And that's the fun part of it too, though, is knowing that you can do something hard and that you did it, you accomplished it, and you get to celebrate with a show and looking amazing with an amazing dark spray tan and your hair and your makeup done and a really sparkly suit and like really cool pictures of your body that looking at the best it's ever looked. But that being said, to look like you belong on stage, you want to, I don't like putting fat percentages on things. Average female like body fat percentage is maybe like 20-25%, something like that. Something like that. I don't really know. But anyways, it needs to be low, and it needs to be lower than what's healthy to look like you need to look on stage. And some people might argue that it's not a healthy sport, but it depends on how you approach it and making sure that you have like a good coach that's helping you do it the right way. So, yes, you'll get to an unhealthy body fat percentage to maintain, but it is okay to be that body fat percentage, whatever that number may be, for a short amount of time, and then you slowly, hopefully, and successfully reverse diet into a healthy body fat percentage, something more maintainable. So know that it is going to get hard and that you do have to reach a certain point. So the first tip would be get to a point where you're comfortable walking around. You need to be a normal average size before you start to train for a bikini competition, because otherwise you're either gonna have to like lose a bunch of weight really fast, which isn't healthy, or like maybe you want to look at a bikini competition like a year from where you are, but then again, a year of dieting is hard. So you just want to be an average, a healthy body fat percentage before you start to train for one of these competitions. That's the first thing. The second thing is you want to make sure you have some gym experience under your belt. You want to make sure that you've been weight training and that you know, have experience with some cardio and weight training, getting into the weight room with the men and getting comfortable with that. Because I mean, there are people that have done really well just doing like circuit training and cardio in the bikini division, but that leads to like crazy amounts of cardio, unhealthy. I'm talking doing this the healthy way. So you want to make sure that you know how to do these lifts safely, that you're not going to injure yourself. So you need to be somewhat experienced in the gym. I would say at least a year. So really get in there and focus on that at first. So the next thing I would say, besides having, you know, a healthy body fat percentage, having some experience in the gym, is dabbling with macros, or however you want to do it. But I think macros is a really good way because you learn a lot about food. Logging your food, figuring out what you're eating, cleaning up your diet, getting, you know, a healthy relationship with food. You don't want to start prep with a poor relationship with food. Meaning, you know, you can resist some temptation. You can, you know, not be at a fast food drive-through every day. That you have like a nice, healthy relationship with food. And I guess that is basically like the skeleton version of, are you ready for a competition? If you can answer yes to all of these questions, then you're ready. Are you a healthy body fat percentage? Yes? Okay, great. Let's do it. And I don't just mean overweight. I mean, if you're underweight already, then you don't want to prep for a competition. You need to be a healthy body fat percentage. So are you a healthy body fat percentage? Yes? Great. Okay, well, do you have experience in the weight training? Have you been weight training for at least a year? Do you know enough about the proper body mechanics and lifts to not injure yourself? Yes? Okay, great. Moving on. Can you, do you have a healthy relationship with food? Yes? Okay, great. Let's get started. Let's talk about your workout split. Let's talk about food prep. Let's talk about your macros. You want to, I would say, I don't even know if most people have a healthy metabolism. That would be an interesting case study if there's not one done, just to figure out like what percentage of the population has a normal metabolism, how many have damaged their metabolism through yo-yo dieting, through poor eating habits and things like that. But I guess the fourth thing would be, do you have a healthy metabolism? And the way that you figure that out really, I guess, is by starting your diet and how successful your body is in responding to macro changes, to drops in calories, to drops in macros, to increase in cardio. If your body has a really hard time adjusting or responding positively to those changes in a way that a coach would want them to respond, meaning dropping weight regularly, and that it's not plateauing like hardcore for like weeks at a time. Some people even start to gain weight on their diet because their metabolism is so messed up. That is definitely not something that you want to be happening while you're in competition prep, because you're going to damage your metabolism further, and it's just going to be all bad after the competition. If you're successful with a damaged metabolism going through competition prep, then you're going to be screwed after your competition. You're going to gain tens of pounds, like 25, 35, who knows how many pounds you'll gain afterwards, because your body wants to be its fattest it's ever been, and it's going to just like eat up all that food and hold on to it, because it's going to be like, when is this person going to starve me again? So yeah, I would say those four things. Not putting much prep into this video. So just a quick review. Again, you want to make sure that you have some experience in the gym, that you have a good percentage, a healthy percentage of body fat, that you have a healthy relationship with food, and then the last thing, if my mom brain can remember what I just freaking said, the last thing was making sure that your metabolism is also healthy. So if you can answer yes to all those questions, then you should pick out a show and start your prep and get on it. Me personally, I wanted to gain a little bit more muscle. I could answer yes to all those questions, but I wanted to gain a little bit more muscle because I didn't want to diet down and look too thin on stage. I wanted a nice like muscular foundation. So, you know, just whatever your goals are. You also want to make sure that you're planning your competition at a low stress time in your life. Don't plan one right before your wedding. Don't plan one, you know, around holidays and vacations, maybe, you know, where you're traveling a lot. You want to do it at a low stress time in your life because it will get stressful. You will be fatigued. You will be cranky if you're doing it right. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. And those of you that are thinking about starting a competition for the first time, or maybe those of you that haven't done it in a while and want to start a competition and wondering if you're ready for it. I highly recommend getting an educated coach. I try to stay away from teams because I worry about cookie cutter diets. Somebody that does macros, that adjusts it according to you and your body and diets you on as many calories as possible and as a little cardio as possible. So I recommend Layne Norton. He recommends Paul Revelia. I liked Mark Lobliner for myself, and those are all the other coaches that I really know about. I think Kara Corey would be really good too. She's a registered dietitian, works with Mark Lobliner, and has had experience with other coaches as well. So good luck to you guys, and I'll see you next time.